What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I will be doing the UFC 256 predictions. This card is a great card, man. I think the what's it called? The Wonder Boy versus Jeff Neal card is pretty good, but this one, I mean, nothing but great fights on this card. But yeah, let's get to it, man. Andrea Lee versus Jillian Robertson. Lee comes in 11-5, is the number 11 flyweight in the world. Fights out of Louisiana, age 31, height 5'6", reaches 69.5, which is something interesting. Jillian Robertson comes in 9-4, number 12 flyweight in the world. Fights out of Florida, age 25, height 5'5", and reaches 63. Andrea Lee's most recent one was against Montana Del Rosa, and her most recent loss was to Roxanne Modafferi. Jillian's coming off a win over Polyana Botello, and her most recent loss was to Macy Barber. I love this fight, y'all. This is a great fight. I might surprise some people. I'm gonna go Andrea Lee, man. I'm gonna keep it simple, but I think Andrea Lee can beat this girl, man. Andrea Lee's, she's coming off 3 losses, but besides the Roxanne Modafferi loss, the other 2 were split decisions, so they were close. And, she's, no disrespect to Jillian Robertson, but, she hasn't, she's beating good competition. Beat Courtney Casey, but, Courtney Casey's, 11, and, she has a terrible record, I know a lot of people are going to be picking Jillian Robertson. I like her coach. I forgot her coach's name. It's not Dewey Cooper. I forgot the black guy's name. He coaches T Wood. He's an American Top Team guy, but and she trains at American Top Team, and he's I don't know how I forgot that guy's name. He's on the Dana White's Looking for a Fight show. Him, Matt Sayre, Dana. I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot the black guy's name, but Jillian's been able to out wrestle girls, but Andrea Lee, man, she has a legitimate Muay Thai game. She's done, amateur Muay Thai. Her submissions are good. She's, I don't want to say she's fought tough and Roxanne Modafferi is a shameful. Man, she's not a good fighter. I don't know how she wins, but she finds a way to win. I don't know how, but hey, man, I'm not trying to play the MMA math game, but Roxanne, she did beat Macy Barber, and Macy Barber beat the shit out of Jillian Robertson. So, but I don't want to play. I'm just playing it by matchup wise. I think I'm pretty sure Jillian Robertson is the favorite. I'm not sure. I haven't checked, but I just have a bad feeling. On Tapology, I seen that people were picking Jillian Robertson a lot. And I like Andrea Lee's chances. I think she'll shock some people. Next fight, Cub Swanson versus Daniel Pineda. Cub Swanson comes in 26-11, fights out of New Mexico, age 37, height 5'8", reaches 70. Daniel's 27-13, which is insane. He has more fights than Cub. Fights out of Houston, Texas, age 35, a height of 5'7", reaches 70. Cub's coming off a win over Kron Gracie. His most recent loss was to Shane Burgos. Daniel's coming off a really good win over Herbert Burns. Surprised a lot of guys. And his most recent loss was to Gregory Kaharikan in 2017. Daniel Pineda is a good fighter. He hasn't lost in a minute. I know he had some drug issues, but even those were wins, So I'm actually really impressed with him. But I was really impressed with his Herbert Burns victory. But I think Cub Swanson can take him. I really do. He has a good wrestling game, and Herbert. The thing with Herbert is that Herbert had the jiu-jitsu advantage, but he didn't have the MMA jiu-jitsu advantage. He had more of a no-gi jiu-jitsu advantage. And he couldn't really apply that with Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda was just a better MMA fighter. I think Cub Swanson's been in the game, and he's only lost to high-level competition like Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega. Who else? Renato Moicano, who's also on this card, moving up to lightweight. And Moicano was a top 5 guy. It is what it is. I think Cub Swanson. I think Cub Swanson can take this kid. I think it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be by decision. Oh, and if I didn't. Oh, did I? I don't know. Did I say it? If I didn't say what I was going with for Andrea Lee versus Jillian Robertson, I'm going Andrea Lee by decision. If I said it, then I'm going mentally ill. But yeah, Cup Swanson by decision over Daniel Pineda. Next fight, Sergey Spivak versus Jared Vanderia. Sergey comes in 11-2. Fights out of Moldova, age 25, height 6'3", and reaches 78. Jared's 11-4. Fights out of California, age 28, height 6'4", and reaches 80. Sergey's most recent one was against Carlos Felipe, and his most recent loss was to Marcin Tybura. Jared's most recent one was to Harry Hunsaker, and his most recent loss was to Renan Ferreira. This is, I'm not going to talk too much about this. Is a suitable matchup for Sergey Spivak. Jared's he's going to be there looking for the knockout. And it is what it is. I think Sergey's going to, take him down. Probably, I'm going to go Sergey by second round submission. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. But, next one, Carl Robertson versus Dolce Lumbula. Or wherever he said the guy's last name. Carl comes in 9-3, fights out of New Jersey, age 30, height 6'1", and reaches 74. Dolce is 10-2, fights out of South Africa, age 35, height 5'8", and reaches 76. Carl's most recent one was against Roman Kopilov, which was by submission, which was impressive. And his most recent loss was to Marvin Vettori. Dolce's most recent one was against Townsend, which isn't something impressive. I'm sorry, y'all. It seems like everyone's beating up on Townsend right now. And his most recent loss was to Magomed Ankalaev. Man, that front kick was brutal. But, what's crazy about Ankalaev is that I didn't know Dolce was a Dewey Cooper guy. And then, what's his name? Kutalaba. Ian Kutalaba was a Dewey Cooper guy. It's kind of interesting. Magomed Ankalaev has been knocking out a lot of Dewey Cooper fighters. But Carl Robertson does not train with Dewey Cooper, so that's a good thing. Here's how I look, and I like Dewey Cooper. I think Dewey Cooper is one of the best. Don't get it twisted. I like him a lot, but it's just, man, he's been letting me down with some of his fighters right now. But I think Carl Robertson, he really. I didn't pick him. I thought Marvin Vettori was gonna beat him, but he really. I mean, I was disappointed in him against Marvin, the way he just went out there, and like Marvin said it straight up that, oh, you missed weight so you quit. And like I didn't think that's something that should translate to the actual fight. And I don't want to say Carl Robertson quit, but like, man, like, dude, man, Marvin got you out of there quick. He got you out of there quick like you were a nobody. Like you were a nobody. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But, Carl, he does have some good wins. He has wins over, what's the light heavyweight's name? Oh, my God. Ryan Spahn. I almost forgot his name. And he's a good kickboxer. He's a glory kickboxer, I think. Corey Anderson, speaks highly of him. And I think, and Dolce's, man, he's a little chinny to me, man. The way Ankalaev killed him. But Ankalaev is a good fighter, man. He really proved me wrong against Kutalaba. But I think Carl gets this done by second round TKO. I'm probably gonna go with that. Just seeing how chinny he is, and I think unless Dolce takes his to the ground, which I don't think he is, I think Carl Robertson is gonna go out here and knock this fool out. Next fight, Billy Quarantino versus Gavin Tucker. Billy comes in 15-2, fights out of Tampa, Florida, age 32, height 5'10", and reaches 70. Coming off a great knockout victory over Kyle Nelson. His most recent losses to Michael Quinones in 2016, which was a minute ago. Gavin Tucker, on the other hand, is 12-1, fights out of Canada, age 34, height 5'6", and reaches 66. So he does have the reach disadvantage. His most recent one was against Justin James, which was awesome. He proved me right in that one. I was so happy for him, and everyone was on that Justin James hype. And Gavin Tucker shut that shit down. His most recent loss was Rick Glenn in 2017. Y'all know me. I love Gavin Tucker. That's my boy, man. That's my boy. And Billy Quarantino, like, I don't really care for him. I'm not a really big fan of him. But, I saw the Rick Glenn fight, and I saw what Rick Glenn is able to do. And you see Rick Glenn's body type. It's kind of similar to Billy, and it hurts my heart. Gavin Tucker's tough, so he's not going to get knocked out. He's scrappy. You know, he has really good jiu-jitsu, but so does Billy. I think Billy's length and his size is going to give Gavin Tucker problems. Like, if Gavin fights someone his size, usually I think he always beats them. Or if he has a clear advantage in the jiu-jitsu against, I forgot the Chinese guy he fought. But, I forgot his name. But, yeah, like, that guy, he, you know, Billy Cartino is going to take this by decision. You know, it's just one of those things. You just got to watch the Rick Glenn fight. You know, Rick, he gave him no space. He went for takedowns. His length, his reach was, Gavin, he has to overcome that. Gavin's going to impress me unless Billy tires out, and Billy's tough as hell. And his striking looked impressive against Kyle Nelson. And I remember they were hyping up, I don't want to say they were hyping up Kyle Nelson, but I remember they were promoting him on YouTube a lot. I've seen videos of Kyle Nelson or some shit like that. So, it is what it is. Peter Barrett versus Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper comes in 9-1 fights out of Washington, age 21, height 6'1" and reaches 75.5. Peter is 11-4 fights at Massachusetts, age 34, height 5'10" and reaches 73. Hooper's most recent one was against Daniel Timur, and his most recent loss was to Alex Caceres. And Barrett's most recent win was to Sang Hoon Yu, and his most recent loss was to Yusuf Zalal. This is an interesting fight. It's a little bit more winnable for Hooper, but I was really not sold with Chase Hooper after Alex Caceres. And you can say whatever you want about Caceres. He's been in the game for a minute. He has a lot of experience, but I'm gonna go Peter Barrett, man. I was not like, he got hurt a lot by Zalal. He almost, and I know he got taken down, but I was almost like, I felt like he was concussed, and I felt like, he couldn't do anything, but I don't think Hooper is going to do that to Barrett's brain, and Hooper, I feel like, is a better striker, at least, like, Barrett, I think I said Barrett, is a better striker, and I think Hooper's just not good. He is not good at all, and I think Zalal is, a good-ass fighter, so I think Barrett's going to get this one down. Third round TKO. I know Hooper's been training with Ben Askren on his wrestling, but you know how them boys like getting knocked out. So it is what it is. Next fight, Tecia Torres versus Angela Hill, the rematch. Tecia comes in 11-5, number 9 strawweight in the world. Fights out of Florida, age 31, height 5'1", and reach 61. Most recent one was against Brianna Van Buren. That's an AKA girl, man. That girl's really good. And her most recent loss was to Marina Rodriguez. Angela Hill's 12-9, the number 12 strawweight in the world. Fights out of New York City. Age 34, height 5'3", and reaches 64.5. Most recent one was against Luma Lukbumi. And her most recent loss was to Michelle Watterson. I don't know if how long y'all been on this channel, but I have a rule. If you lose the first fight, you're gonna lose the second fight. Angela Hill. I had a tough time deciding who I'm gonna go with on this one. Because it's like Angela Hill had like 2 really close fights. The Michelle Watterson one, a lot of people thought she won that one. Claudia Gadelha, a lot of people thought she won that one. So she might have a mentality thinking she's on a 2-fight win streak, even though she is on a 2-fight, losing streak. But this is an interesting fight to take. I don't know, man. Like, she wants to win, right? Because she has to know she's on a loss streak, right? But she has a loss to this girl, so. And I don't want to breaking my rule, man. Usually you have to be really great to win the rematch. So I don't have enough faith in Hill to get this done. So I'm gonna go Tecia Torres by decision. I think she's gonna get it by decision. I watched the first fight. She used a lot of her wrestling. Angela Hill's takedown defense has gotten better, but she still got taken down by Michelle Watterson and Claudia Gadelha. And we've seen how degraded Claudia Gadelha is now, looking at her last fight. So, and even Michelle Watterson didn't look too good in that one. So, Tecia Torres, I think she's gonna put it on her. But next fight, Dwight Grant, my boy, versus Jun Li. Lee, I think. I'm gonna call him Lee. Dwight comes in 10-3, fights at age 36, height 6'1", and reaches 76.5, and is fighting at in New York City. His most recent win was against Alan Jouban, and his most recent loss was to Daniel Rodriguez. Lee is 17-6, age 32, height 6 foot, and reaches 72, and is fighting out of China. His most recent win was against Zaleski dos Santos, and his most recent loss was to Neil Magny. Y'all know Dwight Grant is my boy. I like him a lot. He used to train at AKA. Awesome fighter. Has, in my opinion, one of the best Contender Series knockouts I've ever seen. It was overhand, like from the rear hand, and then lead hook. Y'all got to go check out that KO. He has a lot of potential. I thought, I picked him to beat Daniel Rodriguez, and he was this close, man. He was this close to knocking him out, and it didn't go his way. Julie Li Lang, he was he got ranked after the Zaleski dos Santos victory, and a lot of people picked him to beat. I picked him. I'm not gonna lie, to beat Neil Magny, and he kind of got exposed in that fight. It is what it is, but his cardio looked bad, and I know some people said the corona stuff and the coronavirus might have affected his camp. I don't know. I know they said that for Weili Zhang. That might be true. But we've seen guys like they've went through those conditions. I think he's always been that kind of guy. Because he's a power guy. He knocks people the fuck out, man. He knocked Zaleski dos Santos out in the third round. That was crazy. And he got that shit done. He was like, I remember watching that fight. The translation was like, he told his coach, like, I'm going to knock him out in this round. And I was like, oh my. And he did it, man. He got it done. But, I hate doing this, but you guys don't have to listen to me on this. This is my boy. I'm gonna be going to Dwight Grant, second round TKO. I think Grant's underrated, man. He is, man, and he had an injury, but he has wins over like Alan Jouban. We saw what Alan Jouban just did a few weeks ago against Jared Gooden, man. Alan still got it, and he was able to beat this guy. I know it was a split decision. I know some people thought Alan Jouban won that fight. But Dwight is just powerful. Even Luke Rockhold, he was Luke Rockhold's main sparring partner for Luke versus Chris Weidman at UFC 199. And you can say whatever you want about Rockhold and Weidman nowadays, but those guys were, top of the food chain middleweights at the time. And he was going at it with guys, with Luke Rockhold, and you can even say his prime, right? So I think Dwight he's going to win this, and I'm really high on him. Next fight, Mackenzie Dern versus Virna Duranopoli. Mackenzie comes in 9-1 as the number 11 strawweight in the world. Fights at Los Angeles, age 27, height 5'4", reaches 63. Virna is 16-1, the number 13 strawweight in the world. Fights out of Brazil, age 32, height 5'3", and reaches 64. Mackenzie's most recent win was against Randa Marcos, and her most recent loss was to Amanda Ribas. Virna's most recent wins against Felice Herring, which I was not surprised by. I know some people picked Felice Herring. I was like, y'all tripping, man. Felice Herring was getting out-wrestled by Karolina Kovacevic, man. Y'all tripping on that one. And Virna's most recent loss was to Carla Esparza. This is an interesting one, man. I'm kind of stuck. Like, I've been thinking about this for a minute. And I think Virna she's a good, like, dog pick, low-key, like, but I'm not going to be going with her, I'm going to be honest. I think, dude, she looked dominant against Felice Herring, but Felice Herring is just, she's, oh, man, I don't even want to say, I never thought she was that good, but, man, did she degrade to a low point. But I think Mackenzie Dern is going to win this. I think she has the better jiu-jitsu. And I think her striking is always getting better. She works with Jason Perillo. Jason Perillo is a great boxing coach. But, man, 16-1 is a good record. But, but she didn't fight the greatest competition. You know how they do it. Talia Santos, if you look at her record, she got a bunch of cans, too. So, I'm gonna be going Mackenzie Dern via third round submission, but I think this is gonna be a grappling war, and these girls are gonna be going at it. But yeah, next fight, Kevin Holland versus Jacare Souza. I love this fight. Kevin Holland comes in 20-5. Fights out of Fort Worth, Texas. Age 28, height 6'3", and a reach at 81. Jacare is 26-8. Fights out of Brazil. Age 41, height 6'1", and a reach of 72. Oh my God, the reach disadvantage by Jacare. That's crazy. Kevin's most recent was against Charlie Ontiveros, and his most recent loss is to Brendan Allen. Jacare's most recent one was against Chris Weidman, and his most recent loss was to Jan Blachowicz. Man, like, a lot of people were shitting on Jacare, but like, he went to a split decision against Jan Blachowicz. And y'all know me, I love Kevin Holland. I was picking Kevin Holland to beat Jacare Manson. I'm gonna be honest with you. And he had a loss to, and Jacare has a loss to Jacare Manson. But if you watch that Jacare Manson fight, that was pretty close. It was like 3-2. You know, Jacare had his moments. Jacare won the 5th round against Hermanson. Like, a lot of people forget that. But Holland, I like Holland a lot. I really, really do. And he might knock Jacare out. He could do that. It's not impossible. But Jacare has a good chin, man. Even when Robert took his ass out, it wasn't like Jacare was out. Jacare just got fucked up. He got touched up a little bit. But it pains me to say it, but you gotta look at the Darren Stewart fight. Darren Stewart took that boy down countless times, and Darren Stewart is no fucking wrestler. Darren Stewart has been getting out grappled himself by guys like Fabitsky, you know. That kind of worries me. Jacare has really good boxing. His body shots are beautiful. What he did to Weidman, you know, and even what he did to Jacare Manson, when Jacare lets loose, like, he's a problem, man. And he's 41, but he hasn't looked like he slowed down. Like, that's the thing. Like, I've looked at him. I think Blachowicz, when he fought Blachowicz, that was more of a game plan, and it wasn't a good game plan. And I don't know why he went with that game plan, but it is what it is. But it got him to a split decision, so you got to give him credit for that. And I thought he won that fight, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's just my opinion. I think Jacare gets this done. Yeah, second round submission. Kevin Holland getting taken down by Darren Stewart a lot. That tells me a lot about you, man. I'm sorry. I know he's the favorite, and I don't get that. Next fight, Renato Moicano versus Rafel Fiziev. Moicano comes in 14-3-1, fights out of Brazil, age 31, height 5'11", reaches 72. His most recent one was against Damir Devazic, and his most recent loss was to the Korean Zombie. Rafel's 8-1, fights out of Thailand, age 27, height 5'8", and reaches 71.5. His most recent win was against Mark Dukeski, and his most recent loss was to Magomed Mustafayev. This is a great fight. I talked about this, I think 2 weeks before. This is supposed to be the co-main event for Curtis and Derek Lewis, and even Curtis and Derek Lewis never happened. I said this was going to go by decision, but, man, Moicano is a monster. I was watching some Moicano fights, man, and what he did to Cater, dude, he's a monster, bro. He's a monster. I'm going third round submission with Moicano, man. I think I like Tiger Muay Thai. I think they got really good. I think they're a complete MMA gym. I don't think they're just only Muay Thai. I've seen some of their training clips, but I haven't seen it against we're gonna find out what Rafel Fiziev is like on the ground, and we're gonna find out a lot about even Peter Yan. You know, when he fights Aljamain Sterling, we're going to find out a lot about that camp and how good their takedown defense, man. Like, y'all remember Khalil Rountree? And we were talking about this guy's Muay Thai. Remember what he did to Eric Anders? You know, and then he fights Ian Kutalaba, and Kutalaba just puts it on him. I think Renato Moicano might put it on him. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Moicano, he likes to strike, so he will. But I think when Moicano wants to take him down and just choke his ass out, I think he's going to do it, and he's going to go for it. Next fight, Junior Dos Santos, my boy, man, I love him, versus Ciryl Gane. Junior comes in 21-8, number 6 heavyweight in the world, fights out of Brazil. Actually, he doesn't fight at Brazil. He fights at an American Top Team. But it is what it is. Age 36, height 6'4", reaches 77. Ciryl Gane, 6-0, number 14 heavyweight in the world. Fights out of France. Age 30, height 6'4", and reaches 83. Oh, my God. Oh my god, that scares me. Junior Dos Santos' most recent one was against Derek Lewis, which is a good thing, and his most recent loss was to Rosenstrike. Um, Ciryl Gane's most recent one was against Tanner Bozer, and he's also undefeated. And Dos Santos is on 3-fight losing streak. I love Dos Santos, man. I grew up with Dos Santos, and the way the head kick, like the spinning heel kick with Marcon, and the wars with Cain Velasquez, and you know I never forget the first fight I ever saw with Dos Santos was against Shane Carwin, and I think it's very similar to what Ciryl Gane is. But he styled on what's his name? Carwin, man. He just was so much better than him. And the interesting thing about that fight, that was the last time I think I ever saw Junior Dos Santos go for a takedown. He took Shane Carwin down, almost like just to let him know he could take him down. And I mean, he owned Carwin, man. He owned Shane Carwin, bro. That was such a his footwork, his boxing, everything was just phenomenal. His jab, he was just great in there. And the crazy thing about when I watched Ciryl Gane versus Tanner Bozer, I kind of saw flashes of that young Junior Dos Santos, and I picked Junior Dos Santos against Rosenstrike. I picked him against Curtis Blades, and it just pains me I can't pick him here, man. Ciryl Gane is his footwork, what he can do with his jab, his Muay Thai, his even his submission game, his grappling game is pretty dope. I'm just been impressed with him, man. And he's 6-0. Dos Santos has the experience. I think Dos Santos has a grappling advantage, but I don't know if he's gonna take him down. This was a talk even for the Rosenstrike fight. I thought maybe Dos Santos might have a brain and take Rosenstrike down because it was so easy for other heavyweights to do it. But I am going to be picking Ciryl Gane by decision. Hopefully, I hope he doesn't knock him out. For my sake, I don't want to see. It hurt, man, seeing him get knocked out by Rosenstrike like that. It was kind of bad when Rosenstrike went up to him and hugged him and let him know, hey, man, it's okay. I knocked your ass out, man. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. But yeah, he's 36, man. I don't know what he's trying to do. He wants to win the belt. I've seen interviews and I'm gonna get that belt back. I'm like, oh my god, man. I don't know. He's one guy. If he decides to take guys down, I think he could do it. Do what Glover Teixeira is doing. But I don't know if he wants to do that. I don't know if that's in him. He likes to box. He likes to stand in. That's who he is, man. Junior was so fun to watch, man. If y'all don't know me, y'all gotta watch him back in the day. He destroyed. A lot of people don't know he destroyed Verdum, man. One of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time. Super underrated. I even seen somebody put DC versus Stipe 2 was the greatest heavyweight fight of all time. I'm like, what are you talking about? Stipe versus Dos Santos, Mark Hunt versus Bigfoot Silva, bro. Y'all gotta check those fights out. But I think Ciryl Gane is gonna get this done. I think he's just gonna jab at Dos Santos, and he's gonna do it. He might drop him a few times. He's gonna do it whatever he wants to Dos Santos. And if Dos Santos wins, I don't care. I'm gonna be super happy for him. But I'm not gonna be picking him, man. I just can't. I can't be doing it all the time. Next fight, Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson. I did a breakdown on this fight, so go check that out. I'm not gonna go for too long on this one. I'm gonna be going Tony Ferguson, third round TKO. There's certain things about Charles Oliveira that I've seen against Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas, and Paul Felder that I don't like. It depends on how Tony Ferguson comes back since the beating Justin Gaethje gave him. But I don't think Charles Oliveira is built like that, and I think he got a lot of quit in him. And I'm going to be going Tony Ferguson by third round TKO. I kept it pretty short, but if you want to see the long version, go check out the breakdown. It's pretty good. I think that's going to be coming out on Tuesday, so check out for that. Next fight, main event time. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. This is such a great fight. This is legitimate champion versus number one contender. Brandon Moreno has, scratched and clawed for this, and he's really built a really good case for himself. But I think Figueiredo is just levels ahead of him, and I do have a breakdown on that. I think that's coming out on Monday, so go check that out or keep your eye out on that. But I think, yeah, I'm going Figueiredo by second round submission. I think Moreno has a good grappling game, but I've seen Moreno go for really, really interesting double legs. He does do a lot of grappling bots, but he just leaves his neck out there a lot. And I think Figueiredo is going to hurt him on the feet. I've seen in the Pantoja fight, against Moreno, he got lit up in the feet, especially in the rematch. Not in the first fight. The first fight he did pretty good. In the rematch, he got lit up, beat up, lost every round of that fight, and just got destroyed. And I think Figueiredo is going to do that to him. He's going to, Figueiredo's it's interesting. He's a little bit flat-footed, but he meets you in the middle. He keeps his right hand. He lets you know he's going to punch you there. And it's so weird. Everyone knows the right hand is there, but they don't do anything, and they almost just get hit by it. They know it's coming, but they can't do anything about it. And I think Figueiredo is going to hurt him, and then he's going to submit him. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is what it is. I think this card's going to be great. I can't wait for him. I'm super excited. Y'all know I love y'all. I'm going to give you this early content. I am letting y'all know I am doing a lot of early content right now. I'm doing a lot of uploading for a lot of videos. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to be traveling for a minute, so I'm just going to let y'all know. I might pull some breaking news videos out there, but I'm just going to let y'all know that from now on. But yeah, go subscribe. Not subscribe. Yeah, go subscribe, actually. Go subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like, comment, do whatever you want. Dislike if you want. Go follow my Twitter. Go follow my Instagram, eBay Fight Predictions. On the gram. It's all the links will be in the description box below. Hope you guys check that out. That's where I put my timestamps. I got some weird comments saying you should put timestamps. I do put timestamps. Bro, what do you? It's almost man, do I should I even do it? But go check out the timestamps. Do that. I know most of y'all do. But yeah, eBay Fight Predictions out. Love y'all. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm out of here. See y'all.